What is up, everybody? Welcome to Outside the Cage. We are back on this beautiful Wednesday. We got a great show in store for you today. We got the Sean Strickland, Dricus du Plessis recap. We have a new women's champion in the bantamweight division. We have some 300 news, kind of turning into the 300 watch show. But hey, we love it. We love every minute of it. So let's get into it. We have a new middleweight champion of the world, Dricus du Plessis, beats Sean Strickland in a controversial decision, to say the least. Good fight, good energy. I like the fight, kind of how I thought it would play out, I guess. I don't know. My initial reaction after the fight, and I kind of go into this all the time with these decisions like that, when everyone says like it's a robbery, and I don't want to keep like repeating myself. I'm sure if anyone cares enough, I'm sure they don't, to go back in our old pods and see, but like it was close. It was close. So again, just because it's close doesn't mean it's a robbery. I don't want to rant too long on this. Obviously, this is the time to rant on it, but I tell people all the time, and we talked about this before, is you score it round by round. So you can't look back at the fight after you've scored them and then look at it now and be like, well, you got to go take the belt from the champ, so we can't give it to him. It's like, no, because you have to score it 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. It's not scored as a whole. And that's kind of like I come to defense on like the judging and decisions on this, is because if you watch the fight and you had it 3-2 Dricus, but you had one round close, after the fight, you can't say after, well, let's give that closer round to Strickland because he's the champ. That's not how it works. It's not how it works. You can't go off damage as a whole because you score it round by round. Every round was no doubt 10-9 either way, so you can't judge it off damage or how Dricus looked and how Strong looked. It matters if Sean won rounds 4 and Dricus won round 5, but it was a 10-9, but Sean got cut open and after the fight he looked all cut up. That doesn't mean that Dricus won. You have to score it round by round. So that's my rant on that. Close does not mean robbery. Peter Yan did not get robbed versus Sugar Sean. It was a close fight. It could have gone either way. If it went to Peter Yan, I wouldn't have been mad. A close fight going the other way does not mean robbery. After the fight, I just watching it as a whole, I probably had Dricus winning. I thought he was sharper. I really just thought he won more rounds. Personally, I found myself more times after rounds saying I think Dricus won that one than I did saying Sean won that one. So you have to watch the fight in 5-minute increments as they are, and score it like that. You can't go back and change your mind after the fight and say, well, that round was close, and now I added it up and fuck, Dricus won, but it was close, so never mind, let me go change round 2. You can't do that. You have to score it one by one. So again, close does not mean robbery. There's plenty of times where the judges are wrong. I don't think any judge was wrong here. I think it was super close, hence the split decision. So not mattered it at all. Yeah, I mean, I thought it went exactly how, I thought it was going to be close. I never thought one was going to knock out the other. So yeah, that's my rant. Sorry to get into it.
You're spinning some facts out there. During the first round, I thought Sean Strickland had that fight in control. I thought it was going to go exactly how I kind of predicted it to. He looked way more technical on the feet, looked like he was seeing everything. But then Dricus just started to wear down on him. And like I said, his biggest advantages were going to be his durability and just his power advantage. And that started to show through, I think. Once Strickland took some shots, he reacted more than Dricus did. I mean, I have the stats right here. And yes, Strickland landed 43 more strikes, but Dricus' strikes were probably doing more because Strickland's a volume fighter. He lands a lot of jabs, just kind of throws a lot of stuff out there to get reads and kind of set things up. Whereas Dricus, when he throws, he's throwing a lot of haymakers. So I I kind of thought Strickland had won the fight. I thought he won the first round, and then I thought he got the second round as well. I think, yeah, I think it was the second round, and then I thought he won the fifth. But it was so close. I had no idea before Bruce read off the judges' scorecards. I had no idea who was going to win that fight, so couldn't be mad at it one way or the other. So it looks like your guy Adesanya is probably next up. It's not like he's been on some crazy run lately, but there's just not really a whole lot of candidates to choose from right now at that middleweight division. So how do you feel about that? Are we looking at 300? Do we think Dricus is going to be ready? Is it Adesanya?
I just think it had. I mean, who else do you go?
Yeah, dude. There's really nobody right now. You can't give it to Hamza when he hasn't beaten a middleweight yet.
You're on that. I'm not like set in stone on like it. You can't give it to Hamza. Do I see your point? Yes, but I'm also like I get it. I get it. I truly do get your standpoint on it, and it makes perfect sense.
I mean, Cannoneer, I know that's not an exciting, flashy name for anybody, but looking at resumes, looking at who's next, he's been the backup for it feels like every single middleweight title fight recently. And I almost like him versus Dricus when you just look at their styles and how they match up. I think he has a very good chance of beating Dricus. Do I think it's going to
Yeah,
be
but let's be
Cannoneer?
real.
No.
We're not doing a Dricus and Cannoneer title fight. We're
I
not doing
know.
that.
That's why
It
when you
has
just
to
say that
be.
out loud, it can't.
Yeah, it has to be Israel Adesanya. It's just a matter of when. I would love it to be 300, man. I truly, truly, truly would love it.
I don't think
I
it's
mean,
out of the I don't think it's out of the cards at all.
yeah, this is the perfect, like, this is what Izzy loves. This is it right here. The storyline, the magnitude, headlining UFC 300, coming back, winning his belt. That's it. That's it. That is it right here. And then he
And
gets
if you're
another storyline.
and if
And
you're
then he gets another
Dricus,
storyline again because then he'll run it back with Strickland.
my bad, we got you lagging a little bit right there. Let's see, maybe I'm the one lagging. That's how it is live on the air. You never know what's gonna happen.
I'm good over here. You're good?
Geez, I don't know if it's ever been this
Bro, I'm
long of a
good.
lag. It's tough out here. All right, you got me?
I got you.
I think my internet's taking a shit right now, but let's hope it can hold up for about 20 more minutes.
Yeah.
So we're talking about 300 headliner. I think Adesanya, why wouldn't you take this opportunity if you're Izzy? If you're Dricus, yes, it's a little bit of a quick turnaround, but you've got to think of it this way. You are not going to get a more marquee opportunity. I don't care. I don't think Dricus is going to get big enough on his own to reach the magnitude that this headliner of UFC 300 would be, especially against Israel Adesanya.
Yeah.
It's a chance to etch your name into history. If they offer you the UFC 300 headliner and you're not very injured, I think it would be crazy to turn it down.
And I just think like we've talked about all the time is, yes, the card is stacked. But I also don't think like the card is stacked, but if any of these guys on the card right now were the headliner, it's just like another like really good pay-per-view card.
Yep.
This is 300.
Yeah.
We told it was going to be booming. So there's only like a couple names. It's not going to be Conor, we've already heard. Khabib's not coming back anytime soon. John Jones is hurt.
Islam's got Ramadan, I think.
I mean, yeah, it's got to be Izzy Adesanya. I think there's been discussions. I think they know that it's going to be him because Dana's been like, he's not. I mean, again, who knows? He could be stressed and he could not be, but I just think that this is going to be the bombshell. And then when this news breaks, it's going to be huge.
Who do you like next for Strickland? I have somebody in mind that we already mentioned.
It's got to be Hamza, no?
Yep, I think it makes perfect sense. It's a win-win. That's a big fight. You could even put that as a co-main on a big pay-per-view. It has headline capability with their names, but if it's not for a belt, it wouldn't be a headliner. It gives Hamzat the chance to fight a legit ranked former champ at middleweight. And Strickland gets to fight a big name and potentially shut down the Hamzat hype train, which a lot of people have been wanting to do, but have not been able to.
Yeah.
And then winner of that gets the next title shot, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
And moving on to the things we have to check the boxes on. Raquel Pennington, congratulations, new bantamweight champion. You know how we feel about that division. If you tuned in last week, I got pretty heated about it.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. I legit, not even joking. I dozed off.
Yeah, I was at a kind of a party type thing, so I went to go talk to some people, socialize during that one a little bit.
Man,
Pennington did walk out with the Vince Carter Raptors jersey, the retro one. So good move by her.
That's the one I wore on Halloween. Sugar Sean.
She had the white one.
Yeah, I had the black one.
Yeah, that one's tougher.
Yeah. Some interesting wins on this card. Neil Magny comeback win over Mike Maylott. Big win for Neil Magny. Huge win.
Bro.
Huge win.
That's probably one of the steepest live odds. Like, I'm sure no books were still open on that fight at that time, but the live odds probably would have been around like minus 10,000 for Maylott right before Neil Magny got that slam with about 2 minutes left in the third round. Yeah. That was just veteran grittiness right there. He was not winning a moment of that fight up until he turned it around. It was remarkable. I had bets on Maylott, but I couldn't even be mad at it. Did you see the Cutman Tate? He was all hyped too after he was hugging Magny. You know, they've been together for 15 plus or 10 plus years at this point. Neil Magny hasn't lost 2 fights in a row since 2013, which is crazy. He's had 32 fights in the UFC. He's been fighting good guys his whole career. Top 3 most wins in UFC history, I want to say. Big respect to Neil Magny.
Yeah, big respect. Mozart Ivalov, big win over Aaron Allen, kind of how we expected, dominated, unanimous decision. Sean Woodson gets the win over Charles Air Jourdain.
Yeah, I was wrong on that one.
Split decision. You can't be mad at it. Can't be mad at it.
Makes it look a little better.
Yeah, definitely.
Bro, on the early prelims, Jasmine Jasudavakis had one of the most dominant performances I've ever seen. I didn't load up the stats, but let me read off the total strikes for you. Jasmine had 326, and Priscilla Cachoeira had 26 total strikes over the whole entire fight. And Jasudavakis had 11 minutes of control time. She was just laying on top of her, beating the shit out of her. Everyone was saying that the ref had to have had an overbet or something because there's no reason the fight should have went that long. It was not competitive from 30 seconds in. Just had to throw that one out there. And then also, did you see Sergey City versus Ramon Tavares, the fight
Yeah.
right before Jourdain? Might have been the fight of the night.
Yeah.
Really good, dude. Man, that bantamweight division, they just have a plethora of guys.
Yeah, it's stacked division. It's tough to reign that division. It's tough.
Yeah, our MMA lab guys starting to make a rise. Batista, Marcus McKee, obviously Sugar at the top right now. It's like how Alpha Male was. They're starting to rise up the ranks, all of them.
Yes, sir. So let's get to the latest 300 news. UFC with the bomb, bro. If this was any other I mean, it kind of gets underplayed because it's on 300 and the card's already stacked. And I feel like it was maybe it was just me because I had a busy night, but Kayla Harrison signing with the
they
UFC.
just signed her out of nowhere.
Insane.
Taking on Holly Holm, making her debut at 135. There's been questions on if she'll be able to make the fight because I think she's fought at 155 before.
Yeah, she has.
PFL. And 145 is kind of her normal fighting weight, so it'll be interesting. I mean, I don't think she would sign to the UFC if she didn't think she can make 135. She had to have already had that in mind, right?
That's a huge fight. That's a huge signing too. Really huge signing.
Mm-hmm. Especially for that division. We were just saying they just really have nothing that makes us excited right now. But
if she wins, she automatically has to fight for the title, correct?
Has to. I mean, Juliana Pena may get the next shot.
Yeah.
You could even have Pena get that shot, though, around the time Harrison fights. So then they'll be on the similar schedule. I definitely like Harrison in that fight against Holly Holm, just based off of how Holly Holm's last one went against Buena Silva, and then seeing how Buena Silva looked against Pennington.
Yeah. Does Leon Edwards, Islam Makhachev headlining 300, or Leon and Bilal, probably I would say. Does that move the needle for you?
I mean, that one doesn't move the needle, but everything else does. They already moved my needle regardless to yes on whether I'm getting it or not. Yeah. But for the common man, no, that does not move the needle one bit. When you're trying to sell your friends that don't watch every pay-per-view on coming over to watch this one or going out, you tell them the main event's Leon Edwards and Bilal Muhammad, they're probably going to say, who? Oh, the head kick guy? Against who? Yeah. So, no, it's not a great one, but I'm excited nonetheless.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be a great card either way. I mean, I think that obviously, no matter who you put there, it's going to be a booming card because the undercard's so good. But, yeah, we just want that banger. It's not going to change if we watch it or not already.
Yeah. 299 still might have it beat head-to-head right now. I mean, Suga does kind of add a lot of bias in there for me, so I might not be the best one to make that call. But yeah. 299, bro, that one's just ridiculous. And I still think my theory might come true of if a couple of those 299 fights get canceled or get postponed, they'll get stuck right on 300.
Yeah. It'll be interesting. We were hoping to see some news, hopefully, this week. It's got to be next week, 300 news.
Yeah, I mean, it's only 2.5 months away at this point, so they're going to want to start getting the the sales pay-per-view machine rolling, or the pay-per-view sales machine rolling.
Yeah. Can't wait. We're tuned in. We're always on call waiting for that announcement, baby.
Yes, sir. I had a quote from Max Holloway that he said regarding his fight against Justin Gaethje. He's moving up for the BMF belt, in case you live under a rock.
Yes, sir.
He said, when he's talking about when he fought Dustin, he said, I was just a big 145er going up to that one. This one, just having the IQ of going up there and feeling what it was like of that first one is great. I think you guys are going to see a proper sized person for this one. Obviously, nothing crazy in that quote, but to me, that says that he's doing a Volkanovski style bulk for this. He's really taking it serious, probably dialing in with some nutritionists, becoming a true 155er. He's had a lot of time to get bigger since his last fight against the Zombie. So I'm expecting Max to surprise a lot of people out here. A lot of people have been doubting my guy, and I don't like it one bit. I get why people are doubting him, but I'm rocking with the Blessed Express all the way.
I know you are. That's a good one, man.
I'm more excited for that than Leon Bilal. Do you think they make it a 5-rounder? Oh, I think you might be muted, or unless my volume's messed up.
You talking about the BMF 5-rounder?
Yes. Did they say it is a 5-rounder already?
I would imagine it's for the belt, no? I mean, it's for a belt.
A belt, yeah.
But like one thing we're not talking about is like the main event for 300 has to be a title fight, because they're not going to make the women's fight obviously not the main event.
Oh yeah. I think Leon Bilal right now, I think that's their fallback. There's a chance they even do that and Adesanya Dricus, which would be ideal. I don't know if they want to throw that many champs on there, because then they have to give pay-per-view points to Zhang, Leon, and Dricus. But it's UFC 300.
I think it's just one more fight and they're set.
Yeah, so probably either Leon or Izzy.
Yeah, can't wait, man. I'm ready.
Me too. Honestly, do we have anything else on our agenda?
We don't.
That's about
Covered
it.
it all.
I'm low-key freaking under the weather, and I've got a pounding headache right now. So
yeah, this ain't no coffee or liquor, bro. This some wellness tea. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm under the weather too.
Oh shit! All right, then let's go recover. Get ready for next week. Drop some fire bets for a nice fight night. That co-main next week. I'm excited for that Dober Moicano fight. Very, very excited for that. All right, everybody.
Yes,
till next week. Doses.